Hey guys, so today's video is actually going to be about how I highlight and contour my face. A lot of you guys have requested a video on this because on most of my videos, I would say about 95% of my videos, I have highlighted and contoured my face. So a lot of you guys wanted to see what I use and how I do it and all of that. Now the reason that it's important to contour and highlight your face is because when you put your foundation on, it's all one flat color that goes across your face. It makes your face look really one-dimensional and really flat. So when we highlight and contour, number one, it's going to bring light to your face and it's also going to sculpt out. So say that you have, you don't really have really prominent cheekbones and you want your cheekbones to stand out more, or maybe you want your nose to look a little bit thinner. There's a lot of different ways that we can highlight the face and also sculpt it. So first I want to go over highlighting, and first what I'm going to do is show you guys what I use. So one thing that I like to use is a cream-based highlighter. You don't have to go out and get a cream highlighter. If you get a concealer that's a couple shades lighter than your skin tone, it works the same exact way. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm using NYX Concealer in a jar in the color Fair, and it's a lot lighter than my skin tone. I'm going to show you guys how I use this in a second, but I also like to pair it up with a powder highlighter. So here are three of my favorites. One that I really love is by Motives. It's called their Shaped and Sculpt Duo. You'll see that I use the highlighter a lot right here, and the reason that I like this one is because it's a matte highlighter. And then I have my two favorite shimmery highlighters. This one is by Jane and it is called Wisteria, and it's just a really shimmery pink gold highlighter. This one is Happy Booster in Translucent by Physicians Formula, and this is what it looks like, and it's very shimmery as well. So to start off, I'm going to start with my concealer in a jar by NYX, and this is what I like to do. I already have my foundation on, but I don't have any blush, I don't have any bronzer, no contour, no highlight, it's just foundation. Okay, so whatever you put highlighter on, it's going to stand out more. So what I like to do is just start off with a cream concealer, and this is the only concealer that I'm going to put on my face. Right now, like I said, I only have foundation, so this is the first time that I'm putting concealer. I like to go a little bit lower than my under eye circles because it's really going to brighten up my face. So I know I'm going to look crazy in the process, but I promise you guys the outcome is going to be good. So what I like to do is just put this a little bit there, and I actually even bring it onto my cheekbones because that's going to highlight a lot. Then I like to take a little bit and put it down the bridge of my nose, a little bit in the center of my eyebrows, and then I take a little bit and put it right on my Cupid's bow. So what I'm going to do is just take a brush like this one. This is my Sigma Round Top Kabuki F82 brush. And since I look a little bit crazy right now, what I'm going to do is blend this out. It's really going to look a lot more natural after we blend it out, and it's really going to add a lot of light and brightness to my face. Okay, so you can see that right there added a lot of brightness to my face. If you don't want to use a cream concealer, you can do the same exact thing with powder. Sometimes when I want it to stand out a lot, I'll actually do the concealer first and then the same exact thing with the powder. So that's what I'm going to do for this video. I'm going to be using the one by Jane because it's one of my most shimmery ones and I want to make sure that it stands out on the camera. But for pretty much every day, I really like to use the one by Motive since it's a matte highlighter. It's a lot more natural looking. I also want to mention, if you don't have any highlighters, you can go ahead and use eyeshadow. Whether you want to use a matte shade or a shimmery shade, just make sure it's a couple shades lighter than your actual skin tone and it will do the same exact thing as these highlighters. So again, if you wanted to stop at the concealer, that's perfectly fine. If you want to do only the concealer or only the powder, that's fine. I'm going to just be doing both today just for sake of the video, and that's just going to give us the most highlighted look. So again, same thing with the powder. I just like to put it on the tops of my cheekbones. With this, it's a little bit different. I don't really put powder underneath my eyes because it's going to tend to crease up a little bit faster than the cream would. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the tops of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit in between my eyebrows going up into my forehead, and right on my Cupid's bow. And you guys can see that that added a really nice glow to my face. What the highlighter is going to do is just bring light to the places that you put it. It's really going to brighten up your face and kind of give you like a nice dewy fresh look. So I love highlighter. I wear it on an everyday basis. So now I'm going to be going into the contour. Now to contour, you can use two different products. You can use bronzer. This one is my NYC Smooth Skin Sunny Bronzer. It looks like this. This one is a pretty light tone for me. Or you can use a contour powder, and this one is actually by NYX and it's in the shade Taupe. soap. Now what contour actually does is it sculpts your face, so it's actually the opposite of highlighter. Highlighting makes things stand out, and contour is going to create a shadow on them so that they don't stand out as much. So you can really kind of sculpt out your face and make certain features stand out a lot more. One place that I love to contour is my cheekbones. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do that. I'm going to be using the NYX taupe contour powder here, and I'm just using a curved brush like this one, and I'm just gonna get right underneath my cheekbone. If you don't know where to contour, you can actually suck in your cheeks like this, and you see where that line is created? That's exactly where you're gonna put the contour. You can actually even feel where your bone ends if you don't want to suck in your cheeks. And all I'm going to do is get a little bit of powder, and I'm going to start from the outer part of my cheek and I'm going to work it in. I'm only going to go in that one motion because I want it to fade. I really want it to be the darkest by my hairline and then get lighter as it gets closer to my mouth. Do the same thing to the other side real quick. And then really important after you contour is always take a clean brush and just blend that out. You really don't want to have an obvious line. It's going to make your face look a little bit dirty if you leave it like that, so you want to make sure to really blend it out. Okay, so that right there is how I contour my cheekbones. A lot of people also like to contour their nose. Very simple to contour. All you have to do is take a smaller brush. I really don't contour my nose because I don't think that I need to make it any more pointy than it already is. What you're going to do is just go down the sides of your nose with that same contour powder, and it's just going to create a shadow and make your nose look a little more slim and pointy than it really is. You can do the same thing on the tip of the nose, just like that. And then again, make sure to blend that out. Also, to really sculpt my face out, sometimes I like to add a little bit of this contour powder on my temples, like this. And then also, if you have a big forehead like me, sometimes what I like to do is put this right on the top of my forehead, and that's really going to create a shadow at the top and make your forehead look a lot smaller. Okay, now that my face is pretty much highlighted and sculpted the way that I want it, I always go back again one more time with my clean brush just to make sure I blend everything out. It's really not a flattering look to have any of these harsh lines on your face. So you want to make sure that everything is blended out really well. That's always a finishing step that you don't want to skip. And then what I like to do is just take a finishing spray. Since we put a lot of powders on our face and creams and everything, I like to set it, make sure that it doesn't get cakey throughout the day. I like to use this Skindinavia makeup finishing spray. If you don't want to go out and buy a spray like this, what I've actually done in the past is I'll just mix half water to half glycerin. I mix it up, and it's the same thing as a setting spray. So this is going to make sure that everything stays put all day, and it's also going to take away that powdery finish. So I'm just going to spray this. And that's pretty much it. So that is how I contour and highlight. I don't do it like this every single day. The only thing that I will contour and highlight every single day is my cheekbones. I don't really do the nose and the forehead and the cupid's bow every single day. That's really more for when I'm going out. But every day I do contour and highlight my cheekbones because it does make a big difference. So I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. I hope that you learned a little something. If you have any questions, let me know down below and I will be sure to get back to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Mwah!